Hey, good evening, and welcome to City Beat. And this is not just any City Beat, but this is City Beat number 100. Whoopee! Yeah, number 100. And we're coming to you live on this Wednesday, February 11th, 1987. I'm Steve, and I'm back as host, and I'm very happy to be back because tonight's guests are none other than those veterans of the underground music scene. Veterans, right? M.D.C.
Yeah.
And there they are. And I'll be talking with them in just a few minutes, and you can talk with them also in a little while on our phone-in line. But first, let's check out some old video with the boys in action. And the songs we're going to see two in a row, are I Remember and Greedy and Pathetic. So, Ken, if you're ready upstairs, we'll be right back with M.D.C. live on City Beat number 100.
We've been getting hassled here in Austin, right? My junior high school, cops used to come up to me and accuse me of dealing. They used to open my locker and bring dogs, and they used to slip away my rights. I knew the dogs trying to set me up for a big fall. I knew them shooting my friend Kate Bryant in the back, first-degree burglary. I knew them coming in and hassling me. I didn't care what you were, what the problem was, what you call it, they were there to control you. The police, or the Klan, or the Mafia. You better take your stand, you know it's good for you. Remember, first in school, they send each other, send each other, that's what they do, number two. Something should be 70s, they come on it. Or as one, watching guys and who's done, some of them piece of shirt, none of you gonna roll. USA communism, band day free, stop playing their living, and trying to get something out of me. Remember, the first thing road, I was running to the lane to the money hole. Big Austin and knock my door, knock the door, now run the wall. Look at that, pay for me, I want such a starring thing, make a pay for things up to me, none of you gonna roll. USA communism, band day free, stop playing their living, and trying to get something out of me. USA communism, band day free, stop playing their living, and trying to get something out of me. USA communism, band day free, stop playing their living, and trying to get something out of me. And they'll make a dead person out of you, too. Greedy and pathetic. Those people make your pockets look like this. This is the phone line, we're now, get down, God looks to fight for, you ain't over, get the door, tackle it, get the stick, but you ain't no raise it, I'll take it, blow you away, gas on the fire, ain't no sorry, pathetic, you're a liar, or some Lord of secrets that your heart's on fire, you see through your heart the clock of that's a jazz, you watch your trouble, you better beware! Get the stick, but you ain't no raise it, I'll take it, blow you away, gas on the fire, ain't no sorry, pathetic, you're a liar, some Lord of secrets that your heart's on fire, you see through your heart the clock of that's a jazz, you watch your trouble, you better beware! Don't you come out without the challenge on your boyfriend. You ain't over different thought. The story, you're a fat liar. Some Lord of people set your heart on fire. You see through your upper closet as a jazz. You're watching trouble, you better beware. This is called Corporate Death Burger. Corporation's got a game going. It's called Stock.
Okay, hey, we're back here live in the studio in City Beat number 100 with M.D.C. And right now I'm going to introduce three-fourths of M.D.C. anyway. Right here on my left, immediate left, is David, and he's does the vocals. How you doing, David?
How you doing?
And seated next to David is Al Schwitz, the drummer.
You can call me Al.
Okay, Al. Thanks for coming. And the newest member of M.D.C. on the end is
Look at the cat,
Gordon Frazier, guitarist extraordinaire. Hi, Gordon.
How you doing?
Well, let's start off with some generic type questions here. How long has M.D.C. been going?
7 years. 7 years from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Had to do something with life, thinking about a profession, and rock and roll seemed like a really good one. One I really wanted to do, and it just seemed like guidance counselors and career people and family and all those type of people want you to do something else, but really wanted to play rock and roll. And so we're doing it. And also wanted to sing about things I felt like in the late 70s were kind of missing it, you know, the disco generation, and just was getting me generation. They were thinking about, you know, what people were thinking about in the late 70s. It seemed like a lot of the rock and roll music was getting away from just real social and political things that I was thinking about. So,
you still feel the same now? Is that still the reason why you do the music?
Because I like doing it, because I like rock and roll, and I like singing about the things I like singing about.
What was the original lineup back then?
It was Al and I, and we had a...
Oh, yeah, we should mention who's missing is Franco, your bass player, right?
Right. And Frank was on and off with another fellow named Mike Donaldson, who plays in a band called The Offenders, who's now with Sister Double Happiness. And it was Ron Posner, who lives in San Francisco but is not playing actively with the band, and Gordon's the new person. But Al, Frank, and Gordon, Al, Frank, and I have been around for about 5 or 6 years through the band's 7-year history.
Gordon, how'd you come to join M.D.C?
I was in a rehearsal studio and I heard him playing. He heard me playing. We jammed and liked it, and they said they needed a dude, so...
Had you been a fan of theirs before, or...?
Never heard of him. Never even listened to punk rock.
Seriously?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so what do you think of it now?
Fluke. It just happened to be like I'd listen to this guy screaming.
So now you're
to the
totally
wall.
brainwashed, right?
Yep. I'm a vegetarian now, yeah.
Wow. Okay, a little
We
more...
do treatments. We spoke to our doctor. Can we get a close-up of our doctor? We have a physician, Albert
Albert
here.
bass player, right?
He helped us with
Franco doesn't
therapy and
know it
everything
yet.
else. Yes.
1986 saw the end of the Dead Kennedys, I guess everybody knows, and they've been long time big names kind of in punk rock and the underground scene. And how come you guys have lasted this long? Is it less? I don't mean to put you down, but you have less pressure because of less fame, even though you're known.
Well, Biafra is right now down with the Kennedys. I don't necessarily believe forever he's not going to be in a band, and maybe just that unit. It takes a lot of give and take being in a rock band. It's like a marriage. And it's dealing with 4 or 5 or how many diverse people, and keeping together is work and difficulty and compromise and all those things that, it's easier to close the door and say, well, to hell with you. And it's hard to say, well, let's work it out even though we got differences cooking here and different priorities after 7 years. But we found there was enough central purpose in what we started out in, which was having a band that got to sing about things that we felt other people weren't singing enough about. So we feel strong and good about being around and together. We had a lapse for about 2 years there where we really didn't play any live gigs. And we were working on a compilation, which was a benefit for an anti-nuclear causes. But as a band, we just didn't want to even look each other up for months at a time. But then we found that...
Separation, huh?
We found that we did want
Not
to
so
get
much an
back together.
ongoing resentment as much as just, I don't know, it just wasn't working or something. It disappeared. Different people got into different things. And it took 2 years. I think you're not through hearing from Joe.
Well, let me read you something here I got out of this fanzine from the East Coast called Suburban Voice. Take a quick shout out to my little plug. And there's an interview, I think in the summer, with M.D.C and David here. And, well, in the introduction to it, it says that M.D.C also seemed to be in transition, opting for a mellower stage presence and personality. Well, I saw you guys play a few weeks ago at the farm here in the city, and I thought you were hot. I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. But
Those
you
were
guys
different shows. Those were different,
You were far from mellow, I thought, and...
That was the acoustic tour. Dave was we were just in a different point. Dave was playing a lot of acoustic stuff, and it was just a little different, and that show's a little harder,
I let my hair grow for 3 years, and this summer my hair was you'll see it in the tape that we have from Nashville later on in the show. But just people assuming now that you have long hair, that you're probably a hippie, but as Lal says, you go through different phases, and some shows.
Well, how about your lifestyles?
A little bit more kickback.
Are they changed?
No, we're still scrounging around the Mission like we were 6, 7 years ago. Now we just scrounging, we're a little older, but basically we're pretty much the same people, you know.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but on your show from the stage, I don't know if you're kidding, but you said something about, I think you said not drinking any more beer. Is that?
Yeah, I had a alcohol
trying to monitor how much alcohol you consume before you get on stage, just so because it feels better, you know.
So do you think you played better because of that?
It's not a new policy of the band. Yeah, I stopped drinking. I for the month of January, I had a couple of drinks the last couple of days, but it was like my New Year's resolution, just because I saw a video of myself, and I realized I was just pouring it down. You know, you go on the road with a rock band, and you get to a club, and you start looking for that bar. Where is that bar? You know, and you know, and a couple beers, you get comfortable, and before you know it, you know, a couple more in your.
You already have a case of beer on the rider before you walk in the door, you know. Oh, so here's your beer.
So it gets to be too much.
I just found myself sliding, you know, doing as good a show as I could, and I found just being more level-headed and straight, and just performing that way, less forgetting the lines, less, you know, you know, everything that not drinking alcohol will give you a straight edge.
Let me ask you about your attitude towards your music. I think you mentioned in your interview about willingness to mix it up with other kind of bands, above ground bands, non-punk bands, you know, and to let the music kind of speak for itself. How do you feel about that? Playing, I guess that means playing on bills with different kind of groups, huh?
We haven't done a whole bunch of it. I really feel like we always were pretty much open to work with a lot of different bands. We did a Rock Against Reagan tour for a year, and we played with synthesized players, a samba band called Petey Boy from New York City, from Brazil, playing Brazilian music with a couple members from Brazil. And so we were always kind of open to playing with lots of different types of music. But now I guess, you know, everyone just assumes that we are just because they see the band going through certain somewhat of transitions. We are playing with the Looters coming up in a couple of months, and they're a world beat band.
Okay, well, Al, what do you think? Do you think that if you attempt to broaden your audience, is it gonna dilute your message or your music in any way?
I think if you just try to take a broader shot at something, or you're changing, part of changing can also be changing back occasionally. And, you know, there's a big tendency to think that if somebody just, you know, if you come out with something that's a little different, maybe a little mellower, you said, in one case, that means that might be the trend or the direction. And I would say, at least with us, it's not necessarily so. I mean, I would think that person who said that show and that thing was mellow, if he had seen the show that you saw that you said was hot, he would have said that show was hot, you know? I mean, because it was just kind of a different thing. I mean, I hate to see, you know, I see a lot of labels getting thrown around.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of media
I don't get
and we just kind of, I feel like we play something and it feels good to us and we share it, as opposed to, you know.
I don't think it's a conscious change, you know.
Right.
Sometimes we have a mellow edge, and sometimes we have more of a hard edge, and lately it has been. I've put down the acoustic guitar and just going with all my energy and fury and might, and without alcohol, just, I guess people are saying, oh, you changed back to being hardcore again, and I really didn't even realize the difference, but
yeah, it's
everyone
just one
sees
day you forget the acoustic
things.
guitar, so the approach is different or whatever. I mean,
so you don't want to be pigeonholed anyway, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting some kind of message, and I don't think I understand it.
Disregard.
Disregard. Forget it. Let's talk about the local scene. Some people think it's dying. I mean, there's less shows, less places to play. And how do you guys see it? Does it bother
The scene has been dying for 8 years, or as long as I've been around the San Francisco area. I really don't think it's dying.
It's like Dracula, huh?
What there is I think, a concerted effort with the likes of Mayor Feinstein and the City Council to really try to get rid of punk rock in the city. You know, since the Democratic Convention and the big spotlights of national media on San Francisco, since then, they've pretty much driven punk rock music off of Broadway Street, which was a big, you know, you had the Mabuhay Gardens, you had the On Broadway, with the Stone even doing it sometimes. And Mayor Feinstein got the police to put so much pressure on the bar owners and club owners to say, hey, we're going to close you down and give you a lot of hassle, and you'll be dealing with fines and firemen and, you know, everything we can throw at you, so get them out of here. So little by little, we've been searching down these warehouses, and you get a place going for 6 months, a year. And right now, the farm is at that point. It's been going. It's doing more than punk rock. It does everything from Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead, who has a side band, to it does reggae nights and new wave and all types of music. And sometimes it's a art gallery of sorts. And they also have punk rock about 2 or 3 weekends, and they're putting an awful lot of pressure.
I heard that's it for a while.
That they're not scheduling any more shows as far as I know.
Let me interrupt you for a second to open up our phone lines, because I know some people probably want to talk to M.D.C. And our number is 864-2561, and we got a special little contest here. The first person who can call in, with a question of course, and answer this question will get the latest album, let's not let it glare, Smoke Signals by M.D.C. on R Radical Records. Compliments of the guys. And the question is, I said at the top of the show, what number of City Beat is this? What edition of City Beat? So, 864-2561. So you've toured a lot. How about elsewhere? What's the scene like for elsewhere real quick?
It goes up and down from different communities. I thought it was pretty great. We had a saturation tour in the fall, and we played...
They saturated you and you there?
No, we saturated them. We played Muskegon, Michigan, and we played a lot of little towns, Iowa City,
we were welcome and where we
Lincoln, Nebraska. It's so unpredictable.
We played in Kansas.
One year it can be one way, and then you go back 2 or 3 years later, and it's totally different. We played a big place in New York City.
We played in a cornfield in a cinder block building, and it was packed. We're driving down dirt roads, and we're cursing our manager out. We're going, "Are you kidding? I'm going to strangle you. We're going to be playing."
And it was hot.
And it was hot, and it was in the middle of Kansas.
We got a call right now.
It's in the middle of anywhere.
Let's take this call right now.
So people saying that punk is dead and there's no one showing up anymore are just full of it, because
just go to Nebraska.
Look at all the young bands in this town.
From cornfields to right in your hometown, there's plenty of music and scenes and stuff going on.
Great. Hello, you're live on City Beat. Hello.
Hello. Well, first I'll answer the question. It's number 100.
Oh, very good. We got a winner. So after you're done, stay on the line, and we'll take your name. Winner. We'll mail it to you. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, first I'd like to ask M.D.C. if I like their concept of coming up with different bands on a bill, and just wondering. What's going on with any other Texas bands that have come out here? Since I know the Dicks have broken up, anything coming out of that area coming up this way? Or that's a vague question. But
two of the members of the Dicks, Gary Floyd and Lynn, have their own new band called Sister Double Happiness, and Mikey Donaldson, who I was saying at the beginning of the show, who played with us, was in the Offenders, and he came out here, and now he's playing in that band, Sister Double Happiness. So that's one batch of them. DRI's moved up here, and they're doing very well. They open for Slayer and tour nationally all the time. And there's a band called Afterbirth, which is San Francisco's own Nikki Sicky, who's in bands Sick Pleasure and in Verbal Abuse, in the beginning of Verbal Abuse. So those are some of the Texans that I can think of off the top of my head. There's who's out of the Rhythm Pigs from El Paso, and they're on tour right now, and they're a pretty successful band.
Okay, well, more power to you. Stay together.
All right, stay on the line. Pick it up, Jamie.
Get
Thanks
your
a lot,
record, dude.
Okay, I think we're gonna, in a minute, we're gonna have another piece of video, and this one's a little more current. It's from your tour. We'll get some more phone calls, by the way, right after we come back.
Our Mellow tour.
Yeah, their Mellow Tour America. When was this? Last summer or something?
This was July in Nashville.
This is from Nashville.
This is like
a real bluesy mood.
Right, of course.
Our bass player had just gotten out of jail. They had busted our bass player without charging him, saying that they saw him swallow a drug, that they were going to hold him and wait and check his stool for 5 days in jail, and they didn't find anything, and they couldn't hold him or anything. We filed a writ of habeas.
Yeah, that's on the tape. We're gonna
with a lawyer, and it was our first show back, and it was a dark little club, and it was late at night. But it's the tape we had when we brought. It's a song called Politician by Cream.
Right.
So it's a flash from the past for you oldies, and
let's take a look at it right now, and then we'll be back with M.D.C.
Yeah.
A little cream in the coffee. Slow it down a little for the geriatrics.
in the studio with M.D.C. And our phone lines are open at 864-2561. And hey, we got another. Dave is holding it up. We got another, their old album, Millions of Dead Cops, and we're going to give that away to the person who can answer this question.
The question is,
What is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of life? That's it.
2,000 words or less.
And you got to ask him.
Just call up. You get through.
And
We'll
it's
give you this
multiple
record. No
choice.
problem. There it is.
But you got to ask him something
There's the old
intelligent.
logo.
I know
So
that.
get this, everyone. This is a cop, and this is a Klan with a gun pointed at you. Do you get it, everybody? Millions of dead cops.
You got it.
Okay.
Gordon.
What's up?
So what's happening in recording-wise with MDC?
Not much yet.
Now we're
Just starting. Just writing the songs now. Nothing concrete though, but more harder than the latest album. More thrash, less mellow.
More thrash. Back to the thrash.
Yeah.
So if anybody's familiar with that. Have you guys ever been approached by the major record labels? I know you were back at some seminar back in New York.
Ask this fella. He kind of.
Yeah, we've had a few offers.
Oh, they were paying him off?
Yeah. He gets all the money.
Yes. But we really enjoy our independence. I mean, I never say never, but one of the things we really pride ourselves is that we run our own record label and that we are doing it ourselves. And, you know, we don't like big business. We don't like the multinational corporations and just the way they try to influence people. And just, I mean, for every cool MTV video, there seems like there's about 19 crummy ones that are just been licking corporate record, you know, people, mafia, system sucks kind of situation. And I like to be as far away as that as possible.
I see. We got a phone call. They're going to answer that question. Hi, you're live on City Beat with the answer to the meaning of life.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, whiskey, wine, and women.
Ding, 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 another winner.
Yeah.
Another winner. Ding, 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 ding. You got it.
Where do I get my album, man?
Hang on, hold on. You got anything to say to the guys here?
got an address.
Yeah, man. Just keep partying, man, and get the chicks.
All right.
That's pretty deep. Okay, stay on the line.
Political.
Yeah, you better read the lyrics to this album when you get it, too. Get it, Jamie.
Some wild people out there. Good. I'm glad.
We're running out of time here. Are you intimidated in any way by the bust of Jello Biafra and the Alternative Tentacles Records by the New Right? Those, you know, I guess.
Sure, there's intimidation involved. It seems like the country's gone real, you know, since the last 8 or 10 years. But personally, no, you know, it's not like we're going to stop doing anything we're doing. You know, we hold up millions of dead cops there.
I guess not.
Any policemen at home who feel really bad, meet us in the parking lot, you know. Obviously, to a certain extent, we're ready to do whatever we want. You know, we've had problems because of our name and just for being punks or for Mohawks, and I thought it seemed like I wasn't having a problem at all, so I went and trimmed off. You know, I had long hair in the video.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
And I said, heck, everyone's treating me like a normal person.
Real quick, shall we take this little quick phone call? Okay, it's got to be quick.
Be an artist. Be a revolutionary.
Okay, what's in the future for MDC, real quick?
We want to be in on Smashing the State. We want everyone to get mad all at once. I mean, there's a bunch of thieves in our government, liars, hypocrites, very dangerous war criminal types.
Yeah, how about what a liar Reagan is?
And we just want to be part of the tide of social consciousness that's going to overwhelm this country and start, you know, being a wonderful, groovy earth.
Hi, real quick now.
Yeah, what happened to you before last year? You guys broke up or something? For a while?
Okay, we'll answer it on the air. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
Al said we're
on sabbatical. It took us 2 years for us to readjust, and
we're running late. They're telling me just cool it right now.
And writers.
Well, you know how it is. I got to thank all my guests. M.D.C. They're going on tour. They'll be back, and when they're back, you better go see them. Thank our crew. They did a great job. Thank you, viewers and callers. You'll get your records. Our next live show is in 2 weeks. Show number 101 on February 25th, 1987 with the Beatniks, and they'll be performing live right here.
They're great.
The Beatniks.
I'm so, right now, I'm just so revved up over the America Cup victory over Australia that I'm going to go out on my yacht. Oh, yeah, I don't have a yacht.
Keep the Missouri out of the
What, you don't have a yacht either? I can't believe that. Well, my name is Steve, and good night.